called technical support.
I am tech support. I run this thing. Oh, sorry. Oh, we're live again. Damn, so unprofessional. What is going on,
Merry
everyone?
Christmas.
Oh, almost. Don't get ahead of
Merry
yourself.
almost Christmas and happy Festivus, everyone.
Ah, that's a little bit better. Keep it happy holidays. Keep it kosher. Well, that's not very open either. Okay, anyways, yeah, we'll just get off that topic right now. Welcome in, everyone, to the College Football After Dark here on the Saturday night for a change, because, as noted, tomorrow is Christmas Eve, Xmas Eve, Holiday Eve, whatever people want to call it. So everyone has their own plans and travels. So we will be here for 2 Saturdays in a row for a change instead. And appreciate everyone tuning in. Please do check out all the team channels here, the Big 12 channel, Big 10 channel, SEC channel, all that good stuff on the network. Make sure you hit the like button. It helps a lot. And one by one, Jackson, return of the Brock. That guy, Will. Please, one by one, introduce yourself and where people can find you.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Threads, and of course, you can find me on YouTube at Jackson Johnson 979, where I have some of the video clips of my reactions of some of the college football games and NFL games. And also, I have some Jacksonian episodes you can find on there, and you can also find them on Twitter. So I got that going. But this week, I'm just kind of chilling out with a winter break. So getting that out the way. I can't wait for the new year. It's going to be a beautiful one. It's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, you can. Where are we at here? I guess Sean's next.
You need to pay attention, Spaz. Swear to God. Of course, Will just kind of screwed that whole rotation up.
Somebody
Sean,
did, yeah.
Sean, where
It was
can
being
people creep
choppy
you, Sean?
for me. I can hear you guys now, but I couldn't really understand what you were saying before. I don't know what was going on.
Okay,
Fucking Notre Dame.
You can find me in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for the next week. I will be visiting my brother and enjoying the holiday season in a slightly colder, slightly less snowy place. Although we don't have any snow here at the moment itself. So yep, just bowl season, football, fun.
What about you, Will?
You can find me over on me and my buddy Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports. We do a college football show. Me and Jackson, we do a college basketball show. I'm gonna try to see if I can work something out to join the Notre Dame post game show too. So yeah, keep it locked on Will ND.
And you can find me right here on this show. And on Tuesdays, over with that guy, Ben, up there, doing the Oregon post game and weekly recaps. And heading into the off season, we'll be doing a few shows here and there on signings and things, and not much going on from January till June. And you can find me on Rocky Classic on Twitter right there, somewhere over there. I'm figuring this out one of these days. And that's about it.
That was the
Pour one out
longest.
for the Utes, man. Pour one out for the Utes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's not happening.
That was the slowest intro ever. By the way, Spaz, way to draw that shit out as long as you possibly could. That would be like I'm not a Notre Dame fan. no matter what they do, it will, that, like something like that. Anyways, news time. Let's get to some of the news because it's been kind of a, obviously,
Who the
we have
hell are
signing
you?
day,
Nobody
but
said anything about you.
because I'm the host of the show, everyone knows where to find me and no one gives a shit. Anyways, Jackson, I know you have some, your first news topic tonight. Which was
tonight.
it was kind of surprising to see when you pulled it up when you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, Diego Pablo has decided to transfer from New Mexico State. And here is his statement, and I quote, "Aggie Nation, what a ride it has been. Thank you for your continuous support throughout my time here in Las Cruces. The friendships and memories that I have endeavored will never fade, and I will keep them close to my heart forever. Thank you to Coach Kill and the rest of the coaching staff for your dedication, your contribution made to the Aggie program. My family and I are eternally grateful for what this school, city, and state has prepared me for, both academically and professionally. As a student athlete, all things considered, I've decided to enter my name and resume into the NCAA transfer portal. Once again, thank you, Aggie Nation. Guns up." Unquote.
Who's this guy?
He's really good for you in New Mexico State.
Yes,
if you
this
watch his film,
guy
he
has
cooked
been
this
a
season.
tremendous
He
help.
cooked.
I mean, yeah, he's one of the main reasons why New Mexico State has had this amazing 10-win season in the 2023 season. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of quarterback needy teams in the transfer portal. Question is, who's going to get them? Because I'm going to tell you, whoever it is, they're going to be very happy in the offseason.
Ohio State,
Oh, that's a good one.
Sean.
What's up? Spaz, it's your turn.
No, he was talking to Sean, and Sean disappeared. Sean's the
no,
Ohio
no,
State
no,
guy.
no one was talking to Sean. Ohio State would be better off going after McLeod from JMU.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
Probably.
Well, do you think that Nebraska? I mean, I know Nebraska's already happy with Dylan Raiola, but do you think Diego Pavia could be a great mentor for Dylan Raiola, or no?
No. They wouldn't. I don't think they would do that after bringing in Raiola. I don't think that would be very smart.
Well, what about like Washington State and Oregon State? Because I know Oregon
He could
State
go there.
because they need some QBs as much they can get. Plus,
Yeah,
I
Oregon
think
State might be a possibility because they are kind of doing some pack mountain games or whatever next year. So
well,
I
yeah.
mean, that is a possibility. 'cause
Well,
they
and
do need a
DJ,
quarterback.
Ukulele, has decided to enter the transfer portal, and Aiden Chills, I believe that's his name,
Child,
Michigan
yeah.
State.
Childs.
Thank you for the correction. Aiden Childs has transferred to Michigan State. I'll be honest, that's one team that needs a QB. And plus, if you need a spark in Corvallis, Oregon, Diego Pavia is definitely a good start right there.
It's a high probability. I mean, it could go worse places. Let's put it that way.
Unless Ty ends up in Corvallis.
Oh my God, Mike is depressed tonight. You have shitty picks, Mike. It's your own fault. Stop putting high percentage picks on such crappy odds. Jesus.
That's my favorite part of the confidence polls is people race out to huge leads right at the beginning because they front load all of their confidence points. And
exactly. That's why I'm like, well, you're so far ahead. Give it about 10 more games when everyone else starts getting their points.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Utah has just lost 14-7, but I will say congrats to the Northwestern Wildcats on a tremendous turnaround from David Braun. I mean, the odds were against them in making a bowl game, but they did more than just make a bowl game. They had a tremendous winning season. So that is a fantastic finish for
8-5.
Do you guys remember how bad they looked against Rutgers in week 1?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember how bad they looked all of last year? There's an interesting thing. I wonder if like losing Pat Fitzgerald at the beginning of the season was actually a blessing for them.
Seems to be.
I mean, like I don't know. I mean, something was not going right in that program, and this. I mean, I think a lot of people, if you said who's the worst Power 5 team in the country at the beginning of the season, 2 or 3 weeks in, Northwestern would have been in the conversation, everyone's conversation.
In the very beginning of the season, we were thinking Northwestern and Stanford and
Vanderbilt. Well, Vanderbilt actually probably they're higher expectations.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's I believe they're the worst.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Pat Fitzgerald was anytime everybody expected a pretty good season, they fell apart. But when everyone was expecting a pretty bad season, they always won like the Big Ten West division, or they had like a 9 or 10 win season. That was the
surprise overachieving season, which was something funny because they were talking to right now his name just slips on my mind. The interim who took the head coaching job,
David Braun.
Yeah, the announcer said they reached out to try to ask Fitzgerald about the team, and he was like, "Look, I'm not going to talk about it, basically, because of legal stuff or whatever with the university and all that." But he's like, much respect to them, but Braun still talks to Fitzgerald, and was like, we still love him to death, no matter what the circumstances were, because of how amazing he was. Which I'm like, I think it was almost like that. It was like that was like a Fitzgerald, like we're kind of wanting you to get out of here scenario finally. At the end of the day, like he'd been there so long, had so many ups and downs, bad start. They're like, all right, it's time to say goodbye, but we're not going to be the ones who fire you. We'll let some other aspect come into play.
Do you think that Pat Fitzgerald at some point in the next few years or so is going to get some redemption to her coaching assistant job at, like, let's say Alabama or like an Ohio?
I don't think his reputation. I think his reputation might be too bad now. I mean,
no. I don't think so. I don't think his reputation was that damaged by this, to be honest with you. I think
that because it's like, because like right now, time, because the thing is, time is a hell of a healer. Some people tend to forget, and not saying people should, but it's just that's the reality of it. It was kind of like, Sark.
I can see him taking like a year off and then maybe getting like a DC job to kind of reboot himself.
Yeah.
At least for a couple years, maybe. He's not like on the Bryles level, of like.
Yeah,
you're never getting a job again. He's not on that level. He's not on that level by any means.
No, I mean, no, but I remember I was listening. Was it a couple months ago? The Zach Smith show, and he kind of went off on it on Northwestern, kind of made it, he
made it look like it was the guy's fault.
He brought politics into it and stuff. And he was talking about like, oh, he's just a great coach, and he got completely railroaded. I'm like, Northwestern has been awful for 3 of the past 4 seasons. I mean, they haven't won more than 3 games.
They have been absolutely terrible. I mean, overall as a team, like they have good points to them. Like defensively, it was like seemingly okay, but
not always.
They've been terrible. They've been not always, but for the most part, they've been terrible as a team overall.
Oh yeah. I mean, not a lot of coaches could survive the last 4 years at many programs that Northwestern's put up. And yeah, it came from out of nowhere this year when and put up eight victories. I don't think anybody had that.
Fucking Troy.
Troy
I
has the best.
I was trying to
drive
hold
on
it
the
in. I'm
internet,
like,
man.
oh my god.
Troy's
Yeah,
funny.
give him a few years. Year off, like maybe a couple years at DC, kind of reboot his image. I think he'll be all right.
Yeah,
I'm sure,
because that
I'm
that's
sure after
what
that
I
many years at Northwestern, Fitzgerald has enough money. Anyways, he could join Ogeron and Jimbo on an island somewhere, and they could all just like
smoke
reminisce.
cigars in a hot tub.
With all the
But
fruit
again,
hookers and pie.
he does not seem like a cigar and hot tub kind of guy. I think he wants to be out there. He wants to do like full live tackling demonstrations. That's what he needs. That's what he needs in his life.
I could see that, honestly, because if, let's say, Jamie Chadwell leaves for a better job, like, say, a North Carolina or an Arkansas or a Florida, after next season, I could see Pat Fitzgerald getting hired by Liberty.
It is definitely not a Florida. I will tell you that. After their disasters, Florida's like the A&M almost. Like, it's got to be a big hire, or we're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
I think they would revolt.
Florida's a joke.
Do you think Liberty would ever hire an Irish Catholic as their head coach?
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. That is a good point.
I don't think they would.
I mean, hell, they had or still had the AD, that was part of that Baylor mess from 2016. I wouldn't put it past them to consider hiring Pat Fitzgerald.
Joking again.
Well, you also had the news we didn't even touch upon. You touched upon the player, but with Jerry Kill calling in a day again. I didn't hear the reason why. I don't know if it's medical or if he's just like, I want to go on a high note.
And that press conference was a pretty good high note for to go out on.
Well, yeah, that too with him blasting the age. That may have also had something to do with it, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I mean, you gotta just wish the best for Jerry, and I mean, I'm sure there's some help. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of imagination to kind of assume that health played some role in this.
I think that's what it is, honestly. I think it's health related because, I mean, it was the reason why he retired from Minnesota. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the reason why. But I don't think he felt like he didn't want to burden the university or the players or whatever. And it's like, I'm sad that he's retired. He's gone, but I understand. I mean, you got to look out for yourself and those around you. It's like going on an airplane. You got to make sure you put the oxygen mask on yourself. Then you have to make sure you got to put it on those around you.
Well, and he is he's late 60s now, isn't he?
Yeah, he might be.
I'd assume he's like 67.
I was thinking he was like 60.
He's 62.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only 62. Okay, maybe it's just the gray. He always wears the gray. That's why. Maybe it just seems like he's older than he is.
Yeah.
But it's been a tremendous era at New Mexico State. And we know that the Nets head coach is Tony Sanchez. What does everybody think about that hire?
I don't know much about him.
But I mean, like, he's coming from Kill.
Well, he was kind of pitiful.
Was that?
He was pitiful at UNLV.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that's the UNLV.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but at least he has experience at a traditional dumpster fire, group of 5 doormat. He didn't do very well the first time, but
True.
different situation, and it's pretty similar to when he left Minnesota. Tracy Claeys was immediately named the permanent head coach, and he was doing a pretty good job there until they had their own little situation similar to Northwestern, and he got forced out at the hook.
All right, everyone, calm down. Calm down. Will has his own special announcement that he needs to say for the news segment. He's sitting there. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's just smirking. He's like, "Yeah, my time. It's my time. Give it to us, Will."
Mike Denbrock, he's coming home. He's coming home. Tell the world that he's coming home. The Irish got their offensive coordinator. Jared Parker went to Troy. Thank you, Troy. We really appreciate it. And we got Mike Denbrock, a top 5 offensive coordinator. We have Al Golden, a top 5 defensive coordinator. The Irish are mean business. We are coming for the playoff. We're coming to whip those Aggies in College Station week 1. And it's time to win a playoff game.
Yeah.
South Bend. I'm calling it. The Irish will win a playoff game in the 2024 season.
Yeah, I gotta say about Gerard Parker becoming the.
Have you guys
net
even made it to a playoff game yet?
Yeah, they made it to the
Yes,
playoff.
we've
They just
made it
haven't
to the
won them.
playoff.
Yeah.
Yes, they made it to the playoffs in 2018. They made it in 2020, but they've lost in the playoffs, unfortunately.
2020 doesn't count, man. That season's just
Unfortunately,
Except for I will give that season for well, how many games did Notre Dame play in 2020? I mean, I can't remember.
We
they
played
played.
in the ACC.
They played like 12. They played some.
Oh, okay. You know. So see, if you played basically the full season, like then, yeah, but that's right. That was the ACC.
Yeah, they
actual
played
ACC
South
year.
Florida.
Yeah, that was the ACC year. Like because other than that year, like Alabama, like they played the whole season and they ran rickshaw on everyone. So I'm like, yeah, for them it's fine. Ohio State, sorry, Sean, that was a questionable.
I mean,
That was a questionable one.
we trashed Trevor Lawrence. Ended gave Trevor Lawrence a rather ignominious end to his career.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
know
it's
that
it's not our fault. Our rivals just sucked and just bailed out of the game.
That's fair. I mean, it's like the Pac-12 when the at that point USC was like, until the Pac-12 title, they might have had a chance, and then Oregon beat them in the Pac-12 title game. But I was like, dude, if USC made it, I'd been like,
that
are
would have
you
been
kidding me?
Joke. That would have been.
I mean, I would have, even if Oregon had gone undefeated and won it, I'd been like, I don't know if they should be. We didn't play the games.
There were Pac-12. Some of those teams only had 4 games, right?
Yeah, because of cancellations and stuff like that.
So as we know, Troy has hired Gerard Parker to be the Nets head coach. Is there Tim Beck vibes coming to the Troy Trojans, or is it just a overreaction?
Wait. What vibes?
Tim Beck vibes. Now, the reason why I say that is because when Coastal Carolina was with Jamie Chadwell, they were always having 10, 11 win seasons. The production of Grayson McCall went up big time. But now that Tim Beck is the head coach of Coastal Carolina, the production has gone down for Grayson McCall.
Well,
not
specifically thinking of Grayson McCall, thinking of Coastal. They are playing right now. I got to pull this up so I can watch.
Yeah, but unfortunately, McCall isn't playing. But on the bright side, he's going to be doing fantastic over in Raleigh, North Carolina, at North Carolina State next season. I hope somebody gets a good look at him. So if NFL draft scouts are watching this show, I'm telling you guys, watch for Grayson McCall like a hawk. You're gonna love him.
Who did everyone pick for San Jose State?
I think
Oh,
I
I got
picked San
San
Jose State.
I pissed San Jose State. I love what shit.
Cordero's playing for San Jose State, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's San Jose State.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's out there now.
Yeah.
It's first quarter still 8 minutes left, 0-0.
Yep. 7 minutes and 5 seconds left in the first quarter from my end.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the ESPN app. I'm not watching it because I don't want to have the distraction of it. But yeah, and then I don't want to hear about Troy. They broke my heart earlier. Utah broke my heart.
Oh, Utah broke my heart.
Coastal
Troy.
Carolina might break my heart later. I think I picked Coastal. I can't remember. I think I did.
Dude. Well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to jinx myself. So
Yeah, exactly.
And the Buffalo Bills have kicked a field goal. They are now leading 24.
You can take Brandon Staley out of the Chargers, but you can't take the chart. Wait, no, I said that wrong.
The chargering out of the Chargers.
Yeah. You can't take the charging out of the Chargers. That's better way.
You can take the Chargers out of San Diego, but you can't make them get rid of San Diego.
Man, they've been choking like that since Marty Schottenheimer was there. Man.
No, like how often do you hear people still call them the San Diego Chargers?
A lot. They don't even call them the Los Angeles Chargers.
No.
That's fun.
I hear people call them the San Diego Chargers. Oh, I was listening. Yeah, with Tony's podcast said, "Oh yeah, Harbaugh is a candidate for the job with the San Diego Chargers." I'm like, well, that's a job that's going to be pretty hard to get.
So whether you do the fantasy picks, which we're not, like, it's not betting, it's kind of all for fun for us to do the Mark Rogers thing, which brings me to a nice announcement. Hold on, Jackson, do you have a promotion ready for this? What the fuck is that? Never mind, Sean, don't even show that on screen ever again.
Sean, is that something
that torture?
It's a little like neck roller.
Jesus.
I don't want to get in trouble with Mark.
But Jackson, yeah, if you have a promo, I know you do, ready to go. If you want to join in to the certain things like we do annually for the bowl pick'ems, Jackson, tell them where they need to go so they can get involved.
They can go on ESPN where you can invite some friends. But you can also, if you want, come on in the Patreon or become a YouTube member at the Voice of College Football, where they can get some of the best insider knowledge in all college football. And also, it's where you can celebrate a holly jolly Christmas from guys like us. We'll make sure that you get some of the best college football knowledge. And from Mark Rogers and friends, you can also see some of the recruiting videos as well, like Wisconsin, Purdue, Wake Forest, LSU. So it's going to be fun. And what you're seeing is a pretty fun battle in the Voice of College Football Bowl Mania Confidence Pick. Mr. Mittens is leading right now. Got Traveling Fools, Mike Fort, Mando, P. Warler, Trump's Courage of a Lion, yours truly, tied with Corey Brada, the host from the Hawkeye of the Storm, and the guy that you see on Hawkeyes Live on Iowa Football at the Voice of College Football. You got the real MVP. He is trailing by 1 point. Hawks Lover JD, Q-Man, Troy Boy, Joey Foster, ESPN Fan, 596, 170, 17, 33, B-Bean, ESPN Fan, 783, 369, 61, 80, 860, Nis Quilly Skywipers. Okay. and another guy, Moose 13-0, 3-peat. Another guy named ESPN Fan. Think Pick. our very own John D'Animo. Six God Hobbs. Okay. Santa is watching some bowls. Agreed. Cole in McFly Bets Exploring is 27th right now. He is saving up his points. He is making some wise investments at
I wasn't putting
Reckless.
30 points on freaking Troy. Kidding me? Broke my heart.
Not a
Troy.
good move, but putting that many points on Troy. Reckless Kevin, Casey Mallory, Kamish Matsy, who is yearning for some learning at 30. Kosef Jelly, tied for 30. Limcat, Ballard Sports Media, Spaz at 34.
I'm beating Spaz and Ballard. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, because Spaz don't know how to make the picks properly. I didn't know how to do the numbers.
I have not changed many of the numbers at all. Like, I just don't even pay attention to those.
I don't
It's
either. I
over.
just
The Bills
winners.
win.
And we got Skipper Hawks, Darlow 1983, Hawk and
Son of a
Liberties, Trenton Floyd's Go Knowles, Tig Winners, our very own Will and D at 41.
Yeah, I put mine in late. I forgot about it. And I didn't put mine in until like a couple of days ago.
And we got another
There's Moose
ESPN
way
guy.
down at the bottom.
Yep, ESPN 351, 81, 16, 71, ESPN 070, 29, 815, J.O. Nate Duh, Just Pay Me Now 21 at 46, and another guy named ESPN fan.
And then those are all just 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Like, they didn't pick anything.
Oh, maybe they'll go 0 to hero. Who knows?
That's the right pick.
I was like, wait, those are all 0, 0s.
Yep. 0 to hero. Hark is a hero. But right now we got. But right now,
Texas.
Mr. Mittens is dominating the field as of right now. But it's a big dog.
Second.
Yeah, it's a dogfight at second place between Travelly Fools and Mike Fort. And we got a dogfight for fourth place between Mando and P. Worley.
Pigskin Pete.
I guess that's the name. And I'm fighting. And I am fighting for my place at sits with Trump's Courage of a Lion, but I will not catch up to that tonight, unfortunately. But, you know, it is what it is. And Corey is fighting for sits as well. And Darrell is still in it, of course. Hawks Lover is still in it. Troy Boy, Joey Foster, Q Man, B Bean.
Do you guys do you guys still have a lot of confidence points left to play for? I mean, I know we're still.
I put mine in at the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm real.
Those are the people that are at the top. They put so many. Like, look at Mr. Mittens, 413 points. He put everything into like the first few games.
Oh my god!
So now he has nowhere else to go.
Holy, he is so far ahead of everyone else.
He already used up like all of his points.
Yeah, you know that's exactly like you see a guy like if you ever watch like a 10K or something, or if you ever whoever's ahead at the end of the first mile never wins, ever.
Well, I mean, anything can happen, but I guess we'll wait and see.
No.
It's true. They're still 15-2. So
that is
still
really strong, really impressive. Guy must be addicted to Group of 5 football to be
what really helped
that confident.
Well, what really helped Mr. Mittens tonight was that Northwestern Utah game.
I'm going to kick you from this chat.
Those would have been pretty high confidence picks for me tonight. The two games, I like Northwestern and I South Alabama against Eastern Michigan. That might have been my highest if I would have participated in this.
I did the dumbest thing. I just went 1 point or whatever all the way down. I didn't even realize the points that way. So I just went from the very beginning all the way down. Was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way down to the end.
I have a lot riding on the playoff games.
Yeah, I got 50 some points on each one.
Oh, I saved up for the Oregon game, LSU. So I'm saving. I saved up my bid points for those games.
What's Oregon's roster looking like for the
Not a whole lot of opt outs.
games? Mm-hmm.
Just
So-
Jackson Powers and Troy, really.
Which we don't want to go too far, like we said, till next weekend. But yes, not too much change on the Oregon roster for that game. But what in the chat too, please, what game this week, not necessarily because of the picks, but what game broke your heart in the bowl season? Because there were many today that broke my heart. Destroyed me.
Man,
I'm
unless
so
you
mad at-
unless you have special investments, or you are a fan of a particular team, I don't know how much of the season so far could have really broken your heart.
I think
Troy,
JMU,
JMU.
JMU's run defense was pretty pathetic. I thought it would be a bit better. That broke my heart. I picked JMU to win.
That was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. For a second, I thought they figured it out, and then Air Force proceeded to run for like 270 more yards on them. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Oh man, that Utah loss. I mean, that's just heartbreaking. I mean,
I didn't realize Utah was missing that many people either.
Yeah, like 8. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
I didn't really realize they were missing that many people until the game started, and I was like, oh.
So were they all like draft opt outs, basically?
Draft and or portal.
Oh, okay.
mhm.
And I think there was like two injury ones where they were like, yeah, we're gonna probably because of draft maybe just sit out because of potential injury. But
That's something I think went a little off the rails for a couple of years. You had these people with like these lower round grades sitting out these bowl games. Pretty silly, if you ask me. I mean, like this is a good opportunity to put some tape on film. And I think
True.
we're seeing a little bit more of an adjustment away from that. I don't understand. Like if you're not going to be a top 60, 70 pick, go out there and prove yourself.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Well,
I think unless you're
are-
guaranteed the top 2 round, unless you're like guaranteed almost, which is no guarantee, it depends
Oh,
on
no.
still team needs.
Not many.
But if you're not like a established, like you're going to be in the top 2 rounds, depending on your position, don't worry, because we've seen, like me and Spaz can say, we've seen people that are like, yeah, you're like 3rd round, then they go undrafted, just because of team needs or what they see is better on the board available. So it's like it happens. People can drop 4 rounds,
Oh
and
yeah,
completely out even.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot. The process is really long from the end of the season to the draft, and then a lot of guys have underlying medical issues that the media isn't hip to. It gets revealed in the process, and then you see
Yeah,
guys.
but Roger, the pig farmer, is also a brutal quarterback too. It did not help Utah at all.
No.
He beat USC though, didn't he?
At least he was out there though. At least he
That was another interesting thing. Some people today, and it's not just with Utah, like Bryson Barnes, is that there were a lot of people today. I heard it like 4 or 5 times. Like, this guy's in the transfer portal, but he stuck to play with the team because the team wanted him to stay, like McLeod from JMU.
Yep.
But they're in the portal. But the team's like, if you want to stay and play, you can. And they're like, okay, cool. And that was kind of interesting. Normally when people hit the portal, they're just, they're gone.
Makes total sense most of the time. I mean, there's a lot of risk. You get hurt in the bowl game, that diminishes your transfer value quite a bit. So, admirable decision to play. Stick with their team in a lot of these situations because there's a lot to lose.
Well, I mean, what really helped Air Force was their third down efficiency. They were 8 of 15. But the fourth down, that really helped them. I mean, not too happy that Air Force beat James Madison because, but this is why you probably shouldn't be putting group of 5 games on your 20s. Just save them for your 10s.
Well, yeah, when you Air Forces had a much better overall team than most group of 5s.
I feel like if you saved a lot of points and bet against the MAC this year, you would be doing pretty well. I think that would be a good strategy. The MAC was not good this year at all.
Which is why I couldn't believe NIU won.
Oh, really? They did? Oh, they did? Huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they were playing, Arkansas State or something? Those are two pretty
Northern Illinois played Arkansas State. What was everybody's takeaway from that game?
I didn't see it, so
that was actually a good game, though. It was an entertaining game.
Is Rocky Lombardi finally out of eligibility?
Yeah, this was his last game. That's what they were saying. Went out on top.
Well, and even this next, in the next week, we have games starting, of course, the 26th, not tomorrow or, Christmas Day. What games this week are you guys looking forward to? Because again, if I look at if I had to pick 3 of them where I had to watch these, there's obviously a few good ones, very good ones.
That the first day that Kansas UNLV game is really interesting to me. I wonder what Kansas's team is going to look like because they've had some injury issues this year and still managed to pull out an 8-4 season and win over Oklahoma.
Poor USC fans still crying about the portal.
What was that? Who's crying about the portal?
Fucking Roger Dodger. He's crying about the billionaire nil donations. Hey, USC's got more people that are boosters and shit. They got more money in LA than anything anybody can have up north. So take your nil donation back to your support group in the USC crying with him and the rest of them, and have a good day.
Yeah, Nike. Oregon, we know, is an extremely cash poor program. They don't have any sources of revenue.
No, none
to build.
And now Coastal Carolina has converted their 5th straight third down.
Come on, man! My bowl picks have been horrible.
Yeah, I'm liking my Coastal pick right now. Not too shabby.
I don't need that.
I'm not liking Coastal I'm not liking Coastal Carolina right now.
Let's go Chanticleers. You have to say it fancy like.
Let's go Spartacus. Let's go San Jose State.
Dave, we're not talking about the playoffs and stuff till next week's show.
Yeah, true. Damn right. Damn right we're not taking the playoffs. So what I want to see is you've got Notre Dame, of course, and Oregon State. Curious to see how those teams will match up with all the different players out, the changes of staff. Arizona, Oklahoma. I do want to see Ohio State, Missouri. I think that one's going to turn out to be a pretty good one. Missouri, I think, is underrated. A lot of people are not even maybe looking at them that much. There's a couple. There's a few good ones.
Ohio State's not taking this game lightly, though. I mean, I think they're pretty bought in, and I think they so far don't have any opt-outs except for Mayan Williams, who declared for the draft and probably wasn't going to be healthy enough to play this game anyway. So far, the entire they made the trip last night. The entire team, every single player that was slated to go.
Who's starting the quarterback for you guys in the bowl game?
Devin Brown. I mean, well, I don't even know if they've officially announced it yet. Devin Brown.
If it's Devin,
he sort of accidentally revealed it himself that he is starting in that game. But yeah,
if I were Ohio State, I'd do it like either the day before the game or hours before kickoff. That way, Missouri, can't really figure it out.
Well, it doesn't really matter too much. Lincoln Keenholz and Devin Brown are basically the same player. I mean, they do the same things. They're both really athletic.
Not for long, Connor.
Well, the bowl games I'm really looking forward to are the Pop-Tarts Bowl between Kansas State and North Carolina State. The Alamo Bowl.
You're not actually excited about the game. You just keep want to say Pop-Tarts Bowl because
he wants to eat a giant Pop-Tart.
It just sounds fun. But have you ever? I mean, like Pop-Tarts don't belong in a bowl. They're on a plate. So.
Yeah, but a Pop-Tarts Bowl is pretty good. So there you go. Okay. The Alamo Bowl between Oklahoma, Arizona. That's going to be a great one. I mean, the outgoing Big 12 member versus the upcoming new member of the Big 12 in the Alamo Bowl. That's an interesting storyline in of itself. And finally, we got the Fenway Bowl between SMU and Boston College. SMU is still pretty sore about being left out of the Fiesta Bowl. So they're probably going to show the bowl committee, hey, you guys left us out, and we're going to show you a thing or two about what you're really missing from Dallas. And besides, this is going to be a conference game next year. So regardless of who wins between SMU, Boston College, the loser is going to be really thinking about revenge.
I think SMU will win. Honestly, I just don't think
they should. This would be a really high pick on my confidence if I was in here. This would be a high 30s, low 40s type.
Yeah, but what conference are they going to be in next year if it goes
ACC?
Yeah, SMU is joining the ACC with Stanford and California.
Yeah, but what if the ACC goes kaboom after what happened the last couple of days?
I guess the ACC is going to raid the American Athletic Conference and the Mount West Conference to survive.
Is that their backup plan?
Is anyone threatening to leave except Florida State? Is that even a possibility?
The thing I read today, there's like 6 schools now threatening to back Florida State and
Clemson, North Carolina State, and I believe Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech seems that's ambitious to me. I
think Tech will probably just go back to the Big 12, right?
I don't think Virginia and Virginia Tech are going to join the same conference, Garrett. Because, I mean, I read where somebody was saying, oh, they're going to join the same conference. Yeah, tell that to Oregon State, and Oklahoma State. Yeah, that's going to happen.
It's a slightly different situation in Virginia. I mean, most states, there's a clear, like, A school and a B school. I don't know if that necessarily exists.
Yeah, Virginia. But there's a
Virginia is a titan academically and as far as like their endowment and their resources, but as far as like athletic reputation and they've definitely historically been the weaker football program.
I'll tell you right now, I mean, the lawyers for Virginia Tech, they will find a loophole because there's basically a legal loophole to everything, and they're gonna find something. I don't know what it is, but there will be.
I felt like the legal loophole was that if you get enough people on board, you could actually just dissolve the conference, and that would abolish the grant of rights deal. And Notre Dame might be on board with that too. Who knows?
I don't think Notre Dame has any say in that. I think they had
They
that.
absolutely
It was
do.
eight teams.
They 100% do. They've got full grant of right. They have a full vote on conference decisions.
It still had to be like 8 teams or something like that, or some shit like that.
You might not be that far away from it. I don't know.
It's true.
Everything's possible right now. But that would be, I think, the way of incinerating the grant of rights that's the most plausible path.
Yeah, if the ACC blows up, I mean, what do they all go to the Pac-12?
Well,
interesting. You just have a Pac-12 that's like 90% teams from the East Coast.
Well, like you have an ACC that's 90% from the East Coast.
Right.
No, but East Coast. Whereas the East Coast, it borders the Atlantic Ocean.
Well,
right.
I'll be honest.
It's like it's just kind of a reverse. It'll be a weird situation. At that point, I would think the other conferences would almost just create a mass conference, almost like a.
Well, I was
a Pac-Atlantic.
I think
I heard like
Wake
5
Forest
super groups is what they were talking about at one point.
Now, if the ACC winds up going south, like things go downhill for them, we can see Wake Forest and Boston College become the next Washington State, Oregon State.
Oh yeah,
because Boston College. Boston College got that Boston market. Exactly, Spaz. I mean, they got that Boston market, but that's it. That's pretty much it. And I think what can really help.
No one cares about Boston College in Boston.
Doug Flutie does.
That's funny enough, Sean. My dad this week for his business, he was talking to a guy, and he told my dad he's been a season ticket holder for Boston College football for the past 25 years.
Really?
Imagine that, man. Imagine how much losses you got to see.
It's been probably like the last 10 years have been really rough for BC, but they had
some good years. They had some good years.
They were a very solid program for a very long time.
Oh yeah, they had some great years. With Jeff Jagodinski. I mean, that's been a bad.
Tom O'Brien.
Tom O'Brien, he was the guy that was there for a really long time. Jagodinski was there for 1 year.
2 years.
He got was it 2?
2 years. He got fired by Boston College because he was
interviewing for the Jets.
Wanting to see what the Jets had to offer, which I think, to be honest, Boston College made a bad move firing him because it's not been so good for them. I mean, Steve Adazio, Frank Spaziani have not been able to accomplish what Jagodinski did, what Tom O'Brien did. I don't know what to make of Jeff Hafley so far because, yes, they made a tremendous comeback after starting 1-3, but the problem is they collapsed in the end of the regular season with an 0-3 record. Now, are they going to end the ball?
They're bad. I mean, they're
not good.
They made a.
They have a deep bad. They have a dynamic quarterback that can make things happen, but besides him,
true.
With those types of same things, minus the way that now it's projecting, but again, projections are worthless because you don't know. Again, we can go back and look at, hey, don't take for granted a good thing. Nebraska. Yeah. Wish they kept Pelini, huh? Don't you, Nebraska?
I don't know if they care. Maybe.
Boston College has made some pretty bad moves.
Well, so to Nebraska, you don't get rid of a coach that wins you 9-10 games a year.
Yeah,
Well,
they fired both.
I think there's a lot more to it than that. He was.
Oh well, yeah.
I don't think he got
There was a
along
lot
with
to it, but at the same time, they have been absolute garbage for the most
Oh,
part
yeah.
since.
horrible.
So
Oh,
I
I'm
mean, now
sure
maybe the
something happened.
trajectory is going up, but again, it's just a trajectory projection. You don't know if it's really going to actually, or are they going to continue to be the best 5-17?
It's weird. Like I sort of supported them firing Pelini. It's just everything they've done after that has just been a disaster. Like they
Well,
haven't made
they hired Mike Riley because he was not Bo Pelini. So the not Bo Pelini era didn't necessarily work out for them. So they try to bring back the 90s with Scott Frost, and they think, let's see if bringing back the good old days works. Okay, bringing back the 90s works on like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. That doesn't fly over in college football.
Yeah. Like even the Saved by the Bell reboot is pretty much trash, right? I mean, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's been rough.
It don't work in the NBA neither. I got Chauncey Billups as the head coach, and he sucks.
Oh man, but that's the
I've been
thing,
a Hall of
though.
Fame player, but he's not a Hall of Fame coach.
True.
Well,
But-
the big thing with a lot of these coaches hire, like as me and Spaz, especially, we're huge, or at least we were huge Scott Frost fans. He was our wide receiver coach, OC at UCF. Loved watching it. Then he went to Nebraska, and he's like, that offense I was doing for years, screw it. I'm doing something different. I'm like, why would you change what's been successful? I don't care if it's Big Ten or not. You completely change your off, and it was shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why coaches do this.
Riley
I
wasn't
get
much better when he
infuriated
went
with
to
coaches that do that
Yeah.
shit. It's like bowl games. If you run a widespread offense, you go to a bowl game, you're like, well, this is a different competitor. You know what? We're going to run
We're
power
using
I now.
triple
And it's like,
option now.
why do you do this? Stop. Just run what works.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah,
For
they
all-
didn't have the personnel to do exactly to run the type of offense he ran at UCF.
Well, no, but they totally scrapped it almost. It felt like the entire time. And for God's sake, how long did Nebraska have a quarterback named Martinez? Like 9 years?
Oh man, they
Hey,
had him.
Taylor to
from-
age
Taylor was pretty good. Taylor was pretty
they
good.
had
Adrian,
Martin-
not so much.
Yeah, Adrian Martinez. They had him from 2018 to 2021, I believe, and then he transferred over to K-State.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor was there like 2010 to 2013 or 09 to
Yeah,
12.
sounds right.
Oh yeah, Taylor Martinez. He was there the last
Mhm.
year of the Big 12 era, and he was there the last time Nebraska went to the Big 10 title game.
Man, they got steam. They could not stop the run. That was Monty Ball, right?
Yep, Monte Ball and
Yeah.
James White that year.
Nebraska, Wisconsin went into that conference championship game with a 4-4 record in the Big Ten, third placed in the leaders or legends, whatever division they were in.
No, Nebraska
Yeah.
was in the Legends division. They were 10-2. Wisconsin was 7-5 going into that game. 4-4. They were in third
Yeah.
place, but the
Yeah.
only reason why they
Right,
won
that's
the
right.
Leaders division
Yeah.
was because Ohio State and Penn State were banned from postseason that year. I think Ohio State should have given themselves the postseason ban in 2011. That way, for 2012,
I don't
they
think it would
would.
have made a difference. I don't think the NCAA was going to let them punish themselves after a 6-6 season.
Well, honestly, I mean, Miami punished themselves 2011, 2012. Worked out for them. I mean, Ohio
Yeah.
State.
Has anything worked out for Miami in the last 2 decades? Realistically,
No.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not
Well,
much.
Miami had like a 9-win season 2013. So,
They were in the playoff race in, was it 2017? They
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, they beat
turnover
us, and then they lost it, and then they blew it against Pitt.
And then they just got absolutely skull dragged by Clemson.
Clemson.
in the
Pitt continues to be a pain in the ACC side.
Well, that's the thing with Mark Richt. He always, blew it when nobody expected him to.
Yeah.
And
man, that 2012 team would have beat us in the championship if they would have pulled it out against Bama that year. That was probably Rick's best chance.
well, and even in 2005, when Georgia won the SEC, they lost to their two biggest rivals, Florida and Auburn.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Well, besides bowls, we had this other event. I don't know, and no one paid attention to it. I'm sure this whole last few days, we had something called Early Signing Day. I don't know if anyone ever heard of it. That cat never heard of it. I can tell you that. Sean's cat's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Let's ask Sean's cat for comment on the latest in college football. Hey, Kitty.
Lincoln, you got anything to say about National Signing Day?
Yeah, I don't think he's kind of.
Smith is going to set records.
Jesus.
Hey, Lincoln.
So I don't let my cat in the office.
Jackson. Hi, Jackson. You're very handsome.
Sean, do you think he'll do better than Marvin?
Oh God! I mean, that's just ridiculously high expectations. I mean, that is. I think he will. He is about as college ready as you can expect from a high school senior. I mean, I think he's got kind of everything. He's got the size, he's got all the physical attributes, and he's a very skilled receiver. He's his route running, his late, the way he fights for balls, the way he is in hands, he's a contested catch monster. I mean, he should be very productive and one of the better receivers in the Big Ten, at least next season. But saying can he be better than Marvin Harrison Jr.? Yeah, I mean, if that's a standard, I think you're being a little unrealistic. I don't know. No, maybe not unrealistic, but that's just a monstrous burden to put on someone.
This is an interesting one. I don't think I've. Erica, thank you one for super chat. But what did you guys think of Raiola's commitment poem? Did you think it was as corny and as pompous as I did? I don't remember hearing it, but I don't really recall it in detail.
I have not heard
I believe this is what Erica is talking about. I believe. Let me pull that up from Instagram.
I haven't heard it, but knowing what I know about the Raiolas in that situation, I'm inclined to agree.
It's probably corny as hell.
Well, I mean, like what 18-year-old college athlete are they going to be putting out like Toni Morrison or something when they write this stuff? I mean, what are you expecting? Of course, it's going to.
Now, I'll say this, Sean. Kingston Viliamuasa's was really good. I felt like his speech was pretty legit.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I like it.
I can't read it.
I'll read it. I'll read it for everybody.
Corny.
In the realm of college dreams, where purpose takes flight, enter Dylan Raiola, crafting his narrative in the night. Once lured by Georgia, where powerhouse glory gleamed, yet Nebraska's purpose in his heart brightly beamed. In the scarlet and cream, where legacies entwine, Dylan, like Rogers, Roselle, and Crouch, a hero in the line, no longer a cog in some powerhouse machine, but a quarterback with an even grander ambition unseen. So fellow fans await with hope in the air for Dylan to choose his purpose to declare in a weekend's decision. Destiny calls to fulfill his purpose word, new dynasty enthralls. Okay,
That's cringe. That is
talking
cringy.
about yourself in third person.
You're
I'm
right.
like,
Erica, the answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
come to think of it,
Rolling
I mean,
head.
oh man, I mean, next thing you know, he's gonna be like the great and powerful Dylan Rail. I'm like, okay, dude.
I like
talk about-
I like one of the comments on the side there. It said, "Oh, a touching memory to his favorite book, Green Eggs and Ham." Yeah, that was. That's
Dylan
cringy
Raiola,
and yeah.
like, don't get me wrong, Rail is a cool dude, but don't talk about yourself in the third person, Dylan Raiola. That's
Listen, I'm generally
and don't be comparing yourself to Johnny Rogers and Eric Crouch before you play the
and Mike Rozier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, just good God.
that was bad. That's worse than That's actually worse than I thought it was.
Yeah.
I don't care if someone said
man.
AI wrote that or
Anyone
not.
that-
Like, you should never post anything like that.
That does come across very chat GPT like. Yes, that is-
Chat
I
GPT,
generally
dude.
won't root for anyone or don't like anyone that speaks in themselves in the third person. Like that's generally just okay, no, I don't like you.
Oh man, that reminds me of like that interview I watched on the Dan Patrick show 2 years ago, where like Scottie Pippen went on there and was talking about himself in the third person, and he had all that alcohol there, and I'm like, oh geez, dude. It's like, oh my god, feels like that.
Well,
Just do us a
What-
favor, Dylan Raiola. Don't nickname yourself as Mr. Big Chest. That's all we ask here. Do not nickname yourself that kind of crap.
I'll say this much. The Big O got the highest ever rating for their school, with the third only behind Georgia and Bama, coming in at number 3. The early season signing day is your Oregon Ducks, with 2 flips on signing day, one from USC, and where was the other one from? A&M guy? Who was the second flip, Ben?
Oh, you mean the guy from Ohio State, McClellan?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And we're number 3 to 5 ranking, depending on where you look at, depending on straight ranking or composite, and what source you look at, 3 to 5. But still, regardless, that's still the highest ranked class I think had.
Oh, and the number 1 ranked class in the Big Ten going into next year. Thank you very much.
No, I think Ohio State.
Wait
still has
a
number
second.
1.
Did you? Okay. Wait.
Yeah, I think Ohio State still has number 1 because they did get
I
the
saw the
number.
one they said 1.
They got the number 1 overall player in the country, so that's
Okay,
gonna triumph over us. Oh, but Erica, yeah, corny as shit. Tell that man, don't ever post a poem online again without someone proofreading that crap. Thank you very much, Erica. Oh,
Well, he has
the
three-
loyal Hawkeye.
So we got the SEC and the Big Ten dominating the recruiting trail.
That's the
Miami. Yep, that's where we're looking at. Miami. Oh, go away from us, Sprite. I'm not thirsty.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, depending on if you look at On 3, 247, depending on where you go, it'll say like 3 to 5 or whatever like that. So I'm like, it's still a really good ranking class. So I'm like, okay, very satisfied.
Well, the school put out that number 3. So
Yeah.
the school sites all say 3 overall.
Well, then we'll take 4.
Brent?
3 to 5. We'll take 4. We'll take that. Pretty
Brent
damn good.
Venables is doing a pretty good job with the recruiting class.
And then you look at Mario Cristobal down there is starting to sneak in. He's getting that crystal ball magic going in Miami, maybe at least with recruiting. We all know he can't win games, but he can recruit.
Well, look at Hugh Freeze. I mean, he must have the strippers on lowdown these days.
Down there in Auburn, Auburn got some dogs. I've been on a couple of
I know.
Auburn
The strippers will bring him in like they did at Ole Miss.
when Cam's putting that money back into Auburn.
So I got a question for everybody on this panel. Are we ready to say that Mario Cristobal is the next Jimbo Fisher?
Yes. Absolutely.
Florida State Jimbo or A&M Jimbo?
A&M Jimbo.
Yeah.
Depends on if they re-up him for a huge contract like that. If they re-up him for a huge contract like that, then
do you think we're going to be like, kind of like at Texas A&M last season where we saw where we heard about three freshmen, having a little joint, they were smoking too much joints. They even Cheech and Chong were like, no, too much, man. Before they were playing South Carolina.
Yeah, they're smoking in the locker room before the game.
I mean,
yep.
I mean, Coach Saban, if Coach Saban saw him doing that, he would be on their butts. He wouldn't put up with that kind of business. And we see Marcus Freeman as Notre Dame.
It does bother me, though, because, I think they must have moved. I swear on every site, Notre Dame was ranked higher than LSU. I trust 247 more than on 3, and I know Notre Dame's still ranked ahead of LSU, but I guess they moved one of the players' rankings, man. I don't know.
Well, on the 247, they have Notre Dame 10, LSU 11.
Yeah. Oregon got 3 players moved down in Star and still ended up with a high class.
That's what always happens. Every time a 5-star recruit goes to Oregon, they're like, "Oh, look, the 4-star." I'm like, "Wait,
I can't really be that good."
They always do that. That's why I said 3 to 5, depending on where you look. It really depends on where you looked, because each one has their own straight ranking and then composite ranking or whatever. So,
I do hope that Marcus Freeman can get a playoff win for Notre Dame. That would be tremendous right there. And we see Mike Norvell's continuing his greatness over at Florida State. Mike Elko's doing pretty good at Texas A&M in his first recruiting class.
Yeah, that's big coming in late. Still lining up. Michigan, God, that surprises me. 17th in the country. You've been to the playoffs 3 years in a row.
Imagine Florida's recruiting, man. Billy Napier.
And they have 44 seniors too, so they have plenty of room to be. They could have signed a huge class this year of really high quality players. And God, 17. That's a little rough. I'm sorry, Will. What were you saying?
Everyone was talking about Florida's recruiting class going into the season, and now it's going to save Billy Napier. So many guys flipped, and they're down to 16.
DJ Lagway ended up signing with them, right? Still? Yeah. So I mean, they got that. That's one area that, if you have nothing else to be excited about as a Gator fan, that's something.
Yeah, but they still went from 5 or 6 to 16, immediately. That's not a good sign. And Texas Tech signing their highest ranked prospect ever too. So props to.
But will that translate to a Big 12 title, or is it just going to be an 8-win season?
It's one of those It's kind of one of those continued building blocks. You got to get one of those players to get a breakthrough. I need to remember to mute Spaz because he doesn't remember how to do that to himself.
Yeah, sorry. Oops.
Yeah.
I can't help it when I see good funnies.
And then Jackson, for people looking, this is the actual just high school recruiting. This isn't included with the portal.
And that might be what I know one of them with all the portal and everything too. You combine all that in I think a lot of those have put Oregon's class at 3. Probably if you included all the portals and flips and stuff.
Yeah, because where's the real MVP? Remember, he was claiming, I think a week and a half ago, he's like, Kentucky has the #1 transfer portal class. Well, they don't anymore.
Please, not anymore.
They definitely don't anymore.
Who
Who has the #1 transfer? Who has
portal.
the #1 transfer portal class right now?
I think Ole Miss.
Colorado.
Ole Miss, Colorado. I think. Oh no, Louisville.
Louisville.
It was Colorado on 247. Yeah.
Okay. So somewhere in there.
Louisville, Colorado. Where the hell are we at?
We haven't taken that many. It's been kind of
Oh
quiet.
yeah, that's true.
Transfer portal rankings are really weird. You're 36.
Yeah, because we've only taken 2 total in, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting on.
Ohio State
8
hasn't had
people.
one. I don't think the Buckeyes have one commitment so far.
I mean,
We've lost like 20 people.
Yeah, if you see Florida State, Alabama, and everything down there with Oregon, it's like, yeah,
but in
people
theory,
haven't signed yet.
Look, you got Northwestern, UC, yeah.
Yeah, Sean, when you got bigger schools like Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, the big power 5 schools, generally they don't need it. That means they're recruiting pretty good most of the time.
Yeah.
And with that, they don't need the portal as much as these other teams that are trying to build.
No, and
In my mind.
Ohio State's going to have. They've got so many guys that are like very much borderline about declaring for the draft or not. They could not, and they'll be much more aggressive if they start losing a bunch of players. But the early intel is saying that they're going to get a lot of those players back for next season. They've got
Marvin's not gonna. He's not gonna stay. He's just gonna play in the bowl game, right?
He hasn't committed either way. My guess is he won't play in the bowl game either.
He just said today he was. I just saw something today that said that he said he was
there.
Play
He's there. He's practicing, but I don't think there's been any sort of formal commitment that he's definitely going to play. Emeka Egbuka is playing in the game, which I think a lot of people kind of expect him to be back. There's lots of reasons to be excited for 2024 as a Buckeye fan. It seems like a lot of the guys that that we expected to be gone and destined for the draft or at least very strongly considering coming back. If not,
it's a whole different ball game when you go from 4 to 12. Your chances increase so much more of making something happen.
Yeah, and I mean,
these kids.
I've grown up, around the Ohio State culture and stuff. I know this fan base. I know how much that game means to these people. Losing 3 times in a row and moving on without
beating Michigan,
any sort of atonement. That is that's something that will just like
chew in their guts
forever.
Yeah.
Ever and ever. Even if they're not Ohio kids, like once you're in the program, once you get indoctrinated into
right.
That will just leave a really, really bitter taste in your mouth if you exit without.
Do you think Harrison may risk that just because he wants to get that Michigan beat that one? I can't go out like this. I don't care where my stock is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can
he can get just as much money on the nil if the boosters put in.
I mean, he's not hurting for money, man. He is,
his dad made a good living, so he should be fine.
So,
Sean, I have to stop this and say, you said, once you get indoctrinated, so you're calling Ohio State a cult.
Hey, every college football fandom is a little cultish.
Coming from Sean Garner, Ohio State is a
We have
cult.
Animal House. I've been there.
See, you can guess.
It
See, you
exists.
can guess. See what I am. I'm a sit. Get it?
Well, hey,
Yeah.
I mean, not all indoctrination is bad, right? Like the Pledge of Allegiance is kind of and the national anthem are kind of indoctrination, right? But it's still good to have pride in your country, to be proud to be an American.
Thank you.
Eating shaving cream out of an army surplus helmet. You know, they like the Army Rangers wear the bucket hats at a frat party at Animal House. Yeah.
Oh man,
True
Bluto.
story.
You need
When
to
I
stop
was
smoking so
23.
much.
No, when I was 23, I went to a frat party at U of O, and it was in the Animal House district. And yeah, one of the indoctrinations was you had to eat. You had to at least like put your face in a like little pile about like this of shaving cream in an army bucket. That's how you became a fraternity brother.
I never understood the appeal of fraternities. I never.
I
Cool, party on,
always
but
said I don't want to pay for
couldn't live
friends.
You don't want to pay your friends?
Pay for friends.
Oh, God. I was never. Yeah. That's not a.
That's fun to party at, but that's about it. I wouldn't live in one.
No.
Yeah, I have no idea about any of that shit. So I don't give a
You
two fucks.
liar.
I know. I give a fuck.
And
about it.
I went to a school where that wasn't really a thing. So
Where frat
No.
parties weren't a thing?
where just frats weren't really much of a thing.
Oh, wow.
BBing is the common goal and good
Yeah.
and aspirations getting completely wasted on the weekends.
Some
Isn't that what it
frats. Yeah, there are some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't disagree with that comment either.
That's why I never went. Didn't say I went. I just
Don't
said I
disagree
went
with that
to
one
parties
either.
there.
Oh man, I wish I could go back. Oh, I guess I can.
You'd just be the old man now. Like,
I'd be the well, I'd be the Will Ferrell character in this one now.
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good movie.
Come here, boys. Let me show you how it's done.
So outside of some bowl games and the signing day, right now the Coastal Carolina game is slowed down. It's still 7-0 right before halftime. So
That's
not much
good.
going on there.
Let's go Spartans.
Come on, Spartans.
No. I don't need any more sadness tonight.
Well, Chevin Cordero doing much here in this game?
He is the leading rusher also for his team, which is not good when your quarterback is the leading rusher. That's not good.
No. But
tonight was kind of a weird night because obviously this week we have a bunch of bowls, and then we have playoff coming up next week. But I know we have one, and I know you said you might not be here next week, Sean, because next week we will be here on Saturday. I will remind everyone at the end of tonight, another off kind of night next week. But Sean, give us your, if you want, we'll go for everyone who has a bowl game coming up this week, which is basically Sean and Will.
Oh.
Give us your kind of preview of your upcoming team's bowl games. Maybe what you expect, hope to see, and even a prediction if you are so bold to do so.
okay. All right. Buckeyes.
Hold on. Mark, I don't care if he's his leading rusher. It's never a good thing to have the quarterback as the leading team rusher. I think you would agree with that. Jesus.
Unless it's Jane Daniels.
Mark's
man.
going to call me.
I mean, if you've got a Lamar Jackson or a Michael Vick or something, you can go ahead and have that. But
Oh man, Michael Vitt was like a cheat code. Man, it was like a ballroom blitz for defenses going against it. They were just like, oh Lord, we gotta go against Michael Vick. Crap.
Yeah, there's just no defense for someone that's
He would like if he was a rookie in like this era or like the late 2010s, he'd have gotten a Super Bowl quick, fast, and hurry.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Dude,
He was ahead of his time for sure.
oh,
About the Ohio State, the Cotton Bowl here. Literally, I was expecting a whole lot of opt-outs for this game, and so far we don't have any. We're a week away from the game. Everybody made the trip down to Dallas last night. Everybody that was on the roster that was slated to go. And most of them have committed to playing in this game. So, I don't think overlooking is going to be an excuse for Ohio State. And I don't think they'll need it because I think they'll show up and take care of business against a very good Missouri team. I think this feels like a 38-20 type of game here. Missouri's got some really strong offensive skill players here, including Luther Burden, one of the better slot receivers in the country, and strong rushing attack. But Ohio State's got a ton of offensive skill in this game, and Missouri's top NFL draft prospect, Chris Abrams-Drain, has announced that he is playing in this game as well. So I think you're looking at two very motivated teams, and they should, put an excellent product on the field there. But, we said around 38-20, 38-23 type of win for the Buckeyes in this game. And then the real interesting thing will follow in over the next 2-3 weeks, see who's leaving for the NFL and who's coming back, because that will make a big difference in Ohio State's next moves, whether they need to be aggressive in the transfer portal or whether they can stand pat and possibly bring in the number 1 or 2 team in next year's preseason rankings.
Well, you heard it right there from the Ohio State Colt member. 38-20, Ohio State over Missouri. Kind of a bold prediction. I'm expecting a little closer, but you never know. You never know with ball season.
Mm-hmm.
Will, I know. You have to go to the Sun Bowl.
Yeah, we're going to El Paso. So we're taking on the Fighting Beavers of Oregon State. Every time I'm on a stream with one of the Beaver fans, they would like to remind us that they're 2-0 against us. They beat both Davie and Willingham. So they beat us when they're in the dark ages of Irish football.
Well, one of them was in a Fiesta Bowl, though.
Yeah,
I mean, one of them was in a real bowl game. I mean, that can't be that dark.
Yeah. But in this game, like I'm pretty confident that we're gonna win because they have DJ in the portal not playing, Childs in the portal not playing, Damian Martinez forgot to call the Uber driver, and got a DUI, so he's out for the game. So I'm pretty confident.
Well, is he still out for the game or not? Because the last I heard that Oregon State reinstated him for the game.
They did?
Yeah, that's what I heard about a week and a half ago. They actually reinstated him. First, it was he was out, and I was like, ooh. But then I saw something from Oregon State or where we're saying they reinstated him. for the game. Someone said maybe not, but that's what I had heard. So, which would be big for the Beavers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I
That would be big for the Beavers.
But anyways,
But
they still lost a
if
lot.
you're looking, if you want to see and hear some latest stuff about Northwestern, or go over the best story in college football, as the Voice of College Football put it, tune in to the latest video release from the Voice of College Football, Northwestern, the best story in college football. It's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. Go ahead, Will. Sorry.
But as an Irish fan, I'm pretty excited to see some of our freshmen get to playing time. Like, obviously, with Audric Estime opting out, Jeremiah Love's going to start. And he's a very talented freshman from St. Louis. And Bama wanted him bad. Like, Bama made a big push for him in recruiting, and Notre Dame ended up winning that recruitment, which was, like, huge. That was one of the first big moments that Marcus was able to beat out another elite school for a player. On the offensive side, he was able to do it a couple of times on defense, but that was the first big offensive win. And the guy's just super talented. He's going to break off big runs at Notre Dame, so I'm excited to see him. Charles Jagasaw at tackle is going to be replacing Joe Alt. The guy's freaking huge, man. Like, he's like a tree out there. I'm excited to see him as well. As well at linebacker, I'm excited to see Drake Bowen and Jaden Osbury. And Christian Gray, they're all going to be starting as well. I think Christian Gray will do well opposite Ben Morrison. I think he would. I mean, Mike Mickens is just you know Mike Mickens, Sean. Like, he's a heck of a cornerback coach.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
he's gonna keep that train going.
You got a lot of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Mike Brown.
Denbrock coming back there. Yeah,
Mike Brown, Denbrock, Gino. Gino's going to be calling the plays.
Oh, he is.
Because,
in this game,
in this game, yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just excited to see the new Irish players that are going to be starting next year. But I think it should be pretty comfortable. I mean, I said 45-17 before, so I'll stick with it. I think it'll be a fun win. I mean, it's be like almost all Notre Dame fans there. I mean, I'm sure the Beavers will have some, but
I was a little bit surprised to see the line on this game so short. Like,
yeah, I
like
was surprised as well.
Favorite. Yeah, I mean, Oregon State's going to be putting out like a practice squad quarterback out there. I just
no, he was the starter last year for half the year.
Yeah, and he was basically a practice squad quarterback then too. So.
I think he won one game, maybe two.
He won the Civil
He beat
War.
Oregon.
He beat Florida.
Yeah, he did beat Oregon, but by handing
beat Oregon and Florida. That is true.
He won by handing off the ball. Yeah, excited for the Sun Bowl. Should be fun. As an Irish fan, should be fun.
Yeah,
last time we were in the Sun Bowl, we took it to Traveling Pools' Canes. And it was funny, like, just watching the teams warm up. Like, it was a pretty cold day, and like most of the Irish guys were in short sleeves, and the Canes were shaking. They were pretty chilly. So I was feeling 9-year-old me was feeling pretty confident once I saw how the teams were warming up that year.
However, Will, keep in mind, Oregon State has never lost to Notre Dame.
I know. I've heard this every stream I go in when there's a Beaver fan. They tell me every time.
What does that even mean? Like, if Notre Dame would have
9-0 against Notre Dame, they blew them out in the Fiesta Bowl in what 2002, 2001.
I think it was something like that.
It must have been 2.
They
41-13 or something.
No, I remember that the next offseason, ESPN had them ranked number 1 in the.
That was Jonathan Smith's team that year.
Oh yeah,
he was the quarterback that year.
Mm-hmm. And then they didn't even. I think they didn't even make a bowl game that year. The next.
Yeah, for the next like 10.
Gosh darn it, man. Oh, I tried every time.
You owe
Every time.
TF $10. You owe TF $10. Make sure you send him that Cash App right now.
Oh man.
That was quick too. You didn't even hesitate. You just started laughing.
No, I saw it. I'm reading the chat too.
I was like, damn, that was
Oh, that was
fast.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately for the rest of us, we have to all wait till next weekend
Next week.
for our preview and predictions.
Jackson, any news on the Bama front? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm on mute. Sorry about that. I was putting some. Yeah, I'm just putting some stuff out in the chat for everybody to check out.
Mhm.
Especially some of the latest in signing day. The reactions, but the Alabama player that was out doing the mess around when he shouldn't have been. Yeah, I don't know what he's up to, but I don't want to know. Throw his butt out is what I say.
The mess around. What are you referring to?
Doing the naughty, the STD.
Who?
Oh yeah, I heard that story. Yeah, I heard that story.
Yeah,
I heard that
I'm
story.
aware of this.
Yeah, we'll leave it at. We can leave it at that. Yeah, I heard that story.
Who are we talking
Leave it
about?
Let's just say there was an arrest involved.
Elijah Pritchett. Yeah, I don't want him near our team. Like, nope. You gotta go. Either you gotta go, or you gotta learn what you did was not okay.
Oh, Alabama's got the burn going on.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah,
that's just not.
Yeah.
I really hope Saban lit into his butt.
Well,
He may not play now.
It sounds like the DA is going to be lighting into him pretty soon here. Oh God, yeah, that's a tough story to hear.
Yeah, that's $10 from Will well spent. Or whoever got it, I can't see it on this chat screen, but whoever got the membership gifted by Travel Fools, make sure you say thank you if you pop it up. Doesn't necessarily mean
Erica
anyone.
Goldberg was gifted the membership by Traveling Fools.
Erica, come in the StreamYard. Erica, come in.
Come on in.
Come on in. You're a member now. Come on in.
Erica.
Was
Erica
Erica not a member before?
Dave wanted to come in and Ben said no.
Yeah, Erica needs to email Mark at. I'm sure Jackson has his email written down. Erica, make sure you email Mark, as you probably already do almost daily, to talk Hawkeyes with him, and ask for the Discord link. And you can join the Discord with us, and you can join the panel.
Well, I just wanted to hear what she had to say about her bowl game. That's all right, though.
I know she's got to get in the Discord. I'm not going to drop it in here in the public.
That's fair.
But let's see. When did the Hawkeyes play? Let's look at that. When did they play?
We have a New Year's Day game. Right.
Yeah, I was like, I had the schedule open. There it is. They are playing.
Yeah, Tennessee on New Year's Day.
Oh well,
at 1 o'clock.
Perfect.
They're always in the New Year's Day game. I feel like they own that part of. I mean, they have a timeshare in that part of Florida.
Well, that's perfect though, because
every year.
Erica can be on next week just to talk Hawkeye football, which we don't get to do a lot because Corey doesn't show up on the show, except for the one time he popped in randomly.
I remember that. That was fun.
He popped in. Well, he popped in another time, and then he left because he realized I think he was in the wrong show, and he was like, "Oops," and left. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I think they could be. I mean, Joe Milton, if he turned into his 20, if he plays like he did when he was with Michigan and against Florida, I think the Hawkeyes. I don't know. I think the Hawkeyes could definitely force some turnovers.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. My theory on Iowa has been if you put them like in any other division, I think they go like 7-5, 6-6. They're able to win a lot of like 13-10, 10-7 games because they play in a league with such bad offense. That they're those God, I mean that Big Ten West was rough this year.
Mm-hmm.
So she's
so far they're 1-0.
If you score like 17 points against Iowa, you're probably going to win like a huge amount of the time.
Yeah.
And no matter how good your defense is, it's pretty hard to like consistently hold teams under 17. Like that doesn't happen very often.
Erica's
Are
putting
they,
you in place.
Erica, are they letting Brian coach this bowl game or not?
I think they are.
Oof.
Oh no.
Poor Iowa. Sorry, Erica. I thought you had a chance.
Gosh, I'll be extremely impressed with Iowa's defense if they can really put the clamps down on this Tennessee offense. If they can do that, if they can win another 13-10 game here, their defense is better than I thought it was. If they can do that.
Hey, someone here may or may not have picked Iowa to win that game.
I think I did. Yeah, I picked Iowa.
Yeah.
Mark is trying to keep me up all night. I swear to God. All right, we'll see you all next week, everybody.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Well,
No,
Merry Christmas. Stay safe. Stay warm. It's cold out.
Is there any other news updates that wanted to discuss?
Oh, Malik Murphy going to Duke.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting portal. I mean, it feels like there could have been something bigger.
Yeah, Mark's right. Somebody in here told her.
I said next week. Mark doesn't listen to me at all. He just thumbs ups my text messages. You don't even read them. But yeah, it is there. But yeah, carry on with Murphy transferring. That was actually some news today.
I feel like Duke should probably have at least 8 wins again if Malik stays healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a big pickup for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think Leonard's gonna keep the job the entire year next year, or do you think CJ Carr might find...
I mean, I think CJ and Kenny, I think they'll have their chance in camp, but I mean, I'm pretty confident Mike Denbrock will be able to get the most out of Riley.
Yeah.
Riley's just got to get healthy now.
Yeah, he just got to stay healthy.
Because he got murdered this year.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of his injuries, though, I don't think that's necessarily something you need to be worried about, like long term. Like he had like concussion issues, right? It's not exactly. It's not exactly something that's like necessarily. It has a high chance of repeating itself or suggesting any injury-prone issues. So
that was high ankle sprains, I think, wasn't it, Will?
He had concussion issue and a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, and a high ankle sprain.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that stuff. It's not, there are certain types of injuries like soft tissue injuries and stuff that like you're more concerned about because they can actually keep coming. They can repeat. Those are a little bit more freakish, a little more fluky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Knees.
Mm-hmm.
Knees and shoulders, elbows.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, time's up. Erica didn't come in, so I guess we can go now, guys.
Yeah, no, I want definitely want Erica getting here, like especially next week, to talk Iowa football with the bowl game coming up, because we don't have, well, outside of Erica, we don't have any real Iowa representatives, and of course Corey, but having Erica on the panel, at least in a voice chat, would
Oh,
be.
it says Corey's not allowed.
Well, I know. I'm just saying he has popped on accidentally. Yeah, see, Eric's like, oh, you wanted me to come in tonight. Well, that's up to you. I have a phone call I was going to take. I actually just took it. That's why I went on camera. And it was like, hey, I'm still on here. But that's up to you if you want.
No. Yeah.
Late breaking from the voice of college football. Coastal Carolina and San Jose State turned in the lowest scoring Hawaii Bowl first half in history.
7-0. 7-0 Coastal.
One thing I did want to hit on, I know you've seen Florida State has had like an insane number of opt-outs in their game. I mean,
yeah, I was going to say something about that too.
I mean, they want to. I don't know. They're crying that they didn't deserve to be in a playoff, that they got robbed out of a playoff. But we'll never know because they're not going to actually put their real team on display against Georgia. I'm
not going to watch that game. I will be protesting. Not watching it.
You think they got screwed? Well,
yeah. I mean, why? I just want the committee to be consistent. Why they were consistently putting these teams in that probably were going to get blown out every year.
And now the last year of it, they don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? I just want them to be consistent. Why they put Liberty in then? Liberty's gonna. SMU would have I mean, they would both probably get blown out by the Ducks, but
I've got a feeling the 2024 Fiesta Bowl has 2008 Sugar Bowl vibes written all over it.
2008, was that the Alabama Utah?
No, the 2009 Sugar Bowl was Alabama Utah, where Utah beat Alabama.
Oh, you're talking about
2008 Oklahoma Boise State.
No, Oklahoma Boise State was 2007 Fiesta Bowl. Georgia Hawaii was the 2008 Sugar Bowl with Colt Brennan, and Georgia's second game with the blackout uniforms.
Yeah, and they just got on them and rode them from the beginning.
Yeah, they pummeled the holy dog crap out of Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's what we're going to see with Oregon Liberty. Oregon's going to pummel the holy dog crap out of those boys, man.
Yeah, I mean,
that's right.
Florida State. God, that game could get really ugly too. Florida State up against
Georgia. Georgia's going to have everybody sitting by half.
God,
because it won't even be a game by the end of the first quarter.
Might not. Who knows?
Probably going to be like 21-0 or something.
Yeah.
It's going to be ugly.
Man, I mean,
today they lost like 8 players today that said they were not playing now. It was a ridiculous amount.
Yeah. Basically, everyone that has like anything above like a 5th round grade is out of this game.
Yeah, all their receivers, everybody are just nope.
Yeah, they're edge rushers, defensive players. They have Verse is out, Johnny Wilson, Bell, Keon Coleman. Yeah.
Out, yeah. Wilson out, yeah.
It's bad. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it either. I thought this Florida State team I would have
Would have
expected
a lot
them.
better, but yeah.
Them to have like a real chip on their shoulder and like you go out and prove, like you go out and beat, one of the top 5 teams in the country and prove you really belonged. I would have felt that would have been the mentality, but I guess not.
Because what this says is the committee was right that you knew you weren't going to win without
Travis.
Yeah. I wanted to say Trevor for some reason. This just proves that you agree that you weren't going to do nothing without Travis. So why risk anymore? And yeah. Otherwise, you would have gone in there with whoever and said, we're going to fight like dogs, and you're not. You're just laying down like mutts.
Yeah. It's awful. It's brutal to see something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this would have at least been a game that everyone would have been interested in watching. And now it just
for sure.
What's even the point of flipping to this game now?
They just want to fuck everybody on all their money and everything too right now. So
yeah, I guess I will be watching the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl on the CW.
Right.
So there you go, Florida State. I'm watching the CW over you.
Well, I'll be making sure to keep an eye on both games. So
I'll watch the Arizona Bowl. I mean, I just wish that that Finn was playing, but
I want to see more games on
As DeQuan Finn, is he at Baylor now, or is he actually?
Yeah, I believe he's at Baylor now.
Is he actually committed?
Yep.
Okay.
That's a tremendous addition right there. But I just gotta say, I do want to see more bowl games on Barstool Sports, and don't get me wrong, I like that the bowl games on ESPN, but I just wish they didn't have such a big monopoly over the bowls playoffs. Like I want to see, ESPN, CBS, Fox, and NBC share the playoffs. Because I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't want to hear Brad Nessler or Gus Johnson or Todd Blackledge call a playoff game? I know I do.
Brad Nessler's going to be calling the Sun Bowl. I'm excited for that.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is going to be awesome. But I want to see him call other bowl games. I mean, let him get a bite of the pizza, so to speak. Let him get a pizza.
Call some Fox stuff.
With the 12-team playoff, it seems like those rights can get divided a little bit easier. I don't. Does ESPN still have the rights to the playoffs going forward? I don't know.
Yeah. For right now, we're not sure. No, thank you on Gus Johnson. He's well. How about we give one of the playoff
on that one?
Yeah.
I was got it! Unbelievable!
Oh, I will say, how about we let Al Michaels call one of the playoff games? I mean, after all, Al Michaels did get his start calling college football game. Yeah. But how about we give Al Michaels a playoff game? I mean, he did get his start calling college football games, and since he's not calling NFL playoff games anymore, why not end your broadcasting career? Yeah, why not end your broadcasting career with a bang? Calling.
I'd rather hear some up and coming people that are. I don't think we need to keep trotting out dinosaurs just for nostalgia's sake.
As long as this is Kirk Ferentz's head every call, or not Kirk Ferentz, Herb Street, and Al Michaels is just doing this to him every time they make a play, I'm okay with that.
Well, speaking of, we don't need to drag out dinosaurs every time. All right, that's a little better now. This cat's just got a lot younger.
What?
What? Nothing. I don't know what happened right there, but carry on.
Brad Nessler I'm okay with, but I've had enough Todd Blackledge for a lifetime. I'm over Todd Blackledge calling
Yeah,
games.
you're not interested in which restaurant in each college town serves the best 900 grams of saturated fat dish in town.
Yeah.
How about we give a playoff game to, let's see, Tim Brando?
Okay.
Okay.
Tim Brando. And how about the guy that said I'm calling both games? I mean, I want to see
Kevin
him
Harlan?
call it. Yeah. What'd you say? Kevin Harlan? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why Kevin Harlan can't call any big games. I mean, let's give it to
He's
him.
more of a basketball guy now.
Yeah. That is true.
He's like he's like TNT's second crew for the NBA now, so that kind of limits his abilities.
All right, since no one here likes any of the people that anyone's mentioning, just put Holly Rowe in the booth.
Of course.
No.
Let's put Holly Rowe in there. Let's throw Holly Rowe up in the thing. Let's see what she's got. Let's see what she's got.
Sean McDonald's pretty cool. I love hearing Sean McDonald. I mean, dude has made some tremendous calls, not just in college football, but in the sports world as a whole. Let's give him some playoff games. Absolutely, Mark. I agree.
Yes, Holly Rowe. Yes, I said Holly Rowe.
No, shoot you between the eyes.
Oh, God.
Holly Rowe.
And BB was asking if I was mean earlier. Jeez.
No, doesn't it feel like with sports announcers, as soon as they gain any sort of prominence, there's just a huge backlash to them no matter what? Because a couple of years ago, I felt like everyone loved Gus Johnson. And then a few years before that, people loved Joe Buck. And then they're just becomes this cascade.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. Hell no.
What are you talking about?
Holly.
I don't like his attitude. I don't like his attitude in this panel right now.
What about Mike Tirico? What do you think about him calling a playoff game?
That would be beautiful.
Tirico's great.
Can we all agree on that? That Mike Tirico's really good.
You think we could do one game where we reunite him with Kirk Herbstreit? Or is Kirk happy with Chris Fowler?
Kirk and Fowler are cool. Tirico and Herbstreit would be a nice little for old time's sake. I'm seeing some mentions. Noah Eagle. What does everybody think about
Noah
and
Ian are both good. I like them both.
Mm-hmm.
BB and I already. Yeah, we already mentioned.
I want to see Mike Hall. Actually, he doesn't do a lot of play-by-play, but I feel like he would be really good. He does a lot of the studio stuff. I would like to see him call some games.
Jason Benente and Brock Heward are excellent. Yeah, I can see that.
I know a lot of the Trojans think that Brock Heward is anti-USC, though. That's the one thing.
Everyone thinks people are anti their program, though. So,
what's everybody think about Pat McAfee calling a playoff game?
No, people wouldn't like that, Jackson.
Which one?
Pat McAfee. People wouldn't like that.
Because I remember he called the 2022 Las Vegas Bowl.
He's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, the college football fans here do not seem to be a fan of him. But
Will, since you're the Notre Dame guy and we're talking about commentators, Give me your take on the redheaded bomber. You don't like the redheaded bomber?
I mean, he doesn't really know what he's talking about. I feel like he's.
He is horrible. He was bad as a coach, and then I saw him get hired by Peacock, and I was like, wow.
Jason Garrett, Mark.
Ugh.
Mike Mayock was really good. I liked Mike Mayock a lot in color. He was good.
I was
We
just
should bring him back.
shocked when they put Jason on there. I'm like, oh my
What I
god.
don't get is Jason Garrett calling Notre Dame games. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he was a
Flutie
stand,
sucked,
right?
Holden. I didn't really like Flutie. Pat McAfee does a great job as like the sports Joe Rogan, but I just don't feel like game day. I mean, he gives game day ratings. Like even with the guys, even if I know a lot of people, especially the older audience, hates McAfee, but like he's keeping college game day relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because everybody's tired of the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean,
And
people
so
my
he's
age, like
rejuvenated
people
them.
my age and like high
About
school
killing
age, they watch it.
years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I love watching the Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers interviews. Those are what really make it right there.
Well, McAfee does his own segment, his own, streamcast now or whatever for playoffs or whatever for the last
He
year.
does it for ESPN as well now. He's got a
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. He just does his own live stream, kind of like streamcast.
Show. 3 hours.
But how about but I will say, how about David Pollock calling a playoff game?
I've never been a big Pollock fan. I know people like him. I never liked him.
Well, he wouldn't for ESPN. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no ESPN.
They kind of burned that bridge with him.
But that's all right. That's what CBS, NBC, and Fox are for.
Is he anywhere now? I mean, I see him show up on Twitter every now and then.
He's doing a podcast right now.
Is that it? He's not an analyst or employed by any
Not
network?
at the moment. He's a podcast host of Family Goals, but I know that he hasn't been hired by anybody yet. But I kind of think he should like live stream games. Honestly, just like call it from.
He'd be an interesting one too because he kind of makes his social, like political stances pretty evident. Like he takes, he's not afraid to take public stances, and that might make it a little bit more difficult to find a job somewhere.
Voice college football.
I don't know. He must be
ESPN makes horrendous person. ESPN makes horrendous personnel decisions. You're absolutely right. I've seen it, and it's horrendous. I mean, I got a feeling karma is coming for ESPN. I mean, Disney already lost Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. Imagine what they'll lose with ESPN. Oh my God.
Yeah, if they would ever get rid of that bum Feinbaum, they'd be doing much better.
Oh man!
And they let some of these great guys go, and they keep guys like fucking Feinbaum around. Like,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing about keeping Feinbaum around. Feinbaum says like I hear his name come up like 3 times a week, and it's like the YouTube algorithm will feed me like different fan bases are pissed about something Paul Feinbaum says daily. And it's just, but it's like, but you're feeding the beast. Like this,
yep.
This is what they want. They're going to have all this engagement.
It has people talking. If people talking, you're winning.
I mean, like nobody generates more conversation about it.
It's not even just Feinbaum. I think Mark would agree with this. I'm sorry, ESPN needs to look at like 90% of the people they have on TV and just get rid of them because most of them are just garbage. half the time they don't even talk sports of any sort. Just get rid of all of them, start all over.
How about the beautiful trees and the wonderful mountains and the streams and the rocks?
I'm sorry. 92% of them. Sorry, when ESPN has an hour show, it's supposed to be about basketball and they go into politics. You need to fire all the writers, every host, even the poor camera guy probably needs to go because he sat there and watched it and filmed it.
Yeah, and filmed it. Yeah,
cut the feed. You know, like
trying to watch a college basketball game. I love the guy, man. One of my favorite players growing up as a kid. But trying to watch college basketball Pac-12 with Bill Walton on commentary.
Bill's terrible. Bill is drunk.
amazing.
I agree.
Okay, you know what? We're ending this show. You do not talk blasphemy about Bill Walton. You know what? He's a legend. Good night, everyone.
He's a curse.
Well, okay, he is a bit of a jinx. He is a bit of a jinx if you're watching Oregon basketball and he's there. He is a bit of a jinx. But
he's also the curse since 1977. I haven't won a championship because he broke his leg the next year and was never the same.
Dot P
Dude,
says
for millions of dollars.
What is it with the Trailblazers and drafting having arthritic centers? The guys that are just black. You got Bill Walton, Sam Bowie, Greg Oden.
It's the curse of Bill Walton. I've said until Bill Walton dies,
Sabonis.
We're never going to win a championship because he's got a curse on the franchise.
Jesus.
So you're basically like the Detroit Lions of the NBA, so to speak.
Yes.
No. The Lions have just been awful. The Blazers haven't been awful.
Well, I mean, the last time the Detroit Lions won a title as a whole was 1957.
Yeah, but I mean, like you can go a while. You can be the Vikings. I don't think have ever won any sort of title.
They've never won.
They're not a bad organization.
Yeah,
they've got like one of the top 2 or 3 winning percentages.
Yeah, the only title the Vikings have is the 1969 NFL title, but they didn't win a Super Bowl. Yeah, 1969 was the last year of NFL championship games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that but no one thinks of them as just a bad garbage organization, and the Blazers aren't a bad.
I feel so horrible.
The Lions are a bad trash organization. Not now. Not now. They are. But historically,
I feel so horrible for Fran Tarkenton. He doesn't have a single Super Bowl title. I just get so sad for him.
That's so
Fran Tarkenton.
You're feeling that bad for a Bulldog?
Jim Kelly was 0-4.
The great Alan Page was on those Vikings teams. Legendary Notre Dame D lineman.
Oh, man, you should look at that 1975 Vikings team. That team was the NFL favorite. They had talent, but unfortunately, the Hail Mary pass from Roger Staubach, they obviously did not play any defense on the Cowboys. That's what cost them.
Oh, you mean Auburn 4th and 31 play?
Yeah, kind of like that. Drew Pearson caught that game winner from Roger Staubach. I mean, you know, when I think of Cowboys legends, Roger Staubach first comes to mind for me.
And Drew Pearson, yep.
And he just chugs it for the fans to get that game-winning ball.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark, wait until we discuss 50s, 60s NFL. Man, that's going to be a tremendous topic.
That's before mine. I can do 70s, 80s, 90s.
Oh man, I'm making sure I'm looking at the whole history.
I don't look at anything beyond my lifetime.
I drink too much.
I mean, with college football and NFL,
my elbow and my.
It's always good to make sure to look at the whole history of the game because you never know when you might need it.
I would actually love to watch this.
Yeah.
There was terrible fall.
Terrible.
It was terrible fall call.
Guarantee.
He's funny. Charles Barkley's hilarious.
You can put Charles Barkley on anything. I feel like you could have Charles Barkley commentate on darts, and it would be.
I only wish he had a social media account. That'd be cool.
I wonder if Charles Barkley.
That's right. I've never seen him.
I wonder if he'd be the
he
first
doesn't have
college
he
football.
doesn't like Twitter, Instagram, or any of it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the next question: would Charles Barkley be the first college football announcer to get a penalty thrown on him, or storming the field at halftime to be like, "Those are terrible calls"? Like 15 yards on the
Terrible.
Terrible call.
Oh,
There
man.
was a game a few years ago. I think it was like 80. I want to say 87, 80. No, let's see. Were they in? Would have been 2009, actually, when Mike Rice was the color commentator for the Blazers, and he got thrown out of the game, announcing the game by one of the referees because he said the referee made a stupid call as he went rolling by him, and the referee threw him out of the game as the announcer.
Did you see Barkley's comment about whether he was rooting for Alabama this week?
No.
Yes, someone said he wouldn't root for the Crimson Tide if they were playing Afghanistan.
Oh.
Oh man, I saw that. I was laughing about it.
Ouch.
Damn, we've gone way off the well, for the most part, the college football talk here. Does anyone have any
it's very
kind of
fun? But you can also check out if you're looking for some last minute shopping on Christmas. You can come on in to the merchandise store of the Voice of College Football, where you can see some of these great shirts, coffee cups, and hats. Oh my God, they got a pet bowl. Oh my God, I love the pet bowl. That's my favorite one. I gotta get that, man. I want to get that for my dog Bear, but my beagle, he doesn't like new things. So I guess I'm gonna get it for a friend of mine who's a golden retriever. So I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna see if I can get that for her. So then you can see the Michigan stuff. Wow, they even got a Michigan pet bowl. Sweet. Sweet.
What?
Oh, my eyes.
That's where they put their bowl game
It's safe
wins.
to look at the screen again. Yeah.
So there we go. Some great stuff. Oh, I guess that's all for right now. Oh, we got some West Virginia stuff. Here we go. So we got some. So there is some tremendous merchandise from right here at the Voice College Football. Get it, Jackson, and keep it in the closet for 5 years. Then he'll like. I think I might do that. I may
by the
do
way,
that. But
Jackson, since you're putting this West Virginia site up, you should take a screenshot of that West Virginia and tweet that to Pat McAfee because he's a West Virginia alum. He buys anything West Virginia.
There you go.
there we go.
You get
I
one of
can do
those
that.
on the, you get one of those Pat McAfee to wear one of those shirts just randomly one day. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
But I will warn you, Spaz. I'm nowhere near that big, but I'm just a guy. So
Yeah, but
I'll do my best.
send me a screenshot of it too, and I'll tweet it at him too.
Maybe Joey can can talk him into it. I
That'd be
imagine
cool.
Joey's
He
probably
probably knows him, yeah, because of the alum sitch.
Well, he probably knows someone that can get a hold of him. Let's put it that way. Because I have a phone number for a former West Virginia running back that he's had on the show multiple times. I can text him right now and be
Oh,
like,
you got Steve Slayton?
no, different one.
Oh,
Amos Zaraway. You see?
No, different one. But I have his phone number. I can
but
text
still
him.
though, you got a phone number of a former West Virginia running back. Wow. That's so awesome.
Hey,
he was gonna be my boss, and I
Number
kind
five,
of told him to fuck. He
the
kind of told him to fuck off.
first
So
phone number.
Aw.
all right. Any final cue notes or words? As we were going to take this about an hour and a half, and now we're well over 2 hours. So
There's
any
a
final
good
words?
question to end the night. Will somebody complete the field goal on game day and take Pat McAfee and Curb Herbstreit's money?
They've gotten close before.
They've
I
gotten
think it'll
close.
happen. Yeah, I think it'll happen in the next 2 years. Someone will do it.
How do you
Hey,
sign
no,
up?
I'm talking about this year because there's one game day left, and that's
Oh
years.
no.
Oh, this year? No.
Odds
No.
are no. Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
what is the distance?
You guys remember Texas Tech, Mike Leach? They actually found a kicker with one of these kind of
What's the distance on this?
There was a raffle. Do you guys remember this story?
Yeah, I
Back in
remember what
08?
you're talking about. Yeah.
A kicker. Yeah, they had a halftime promotion just like this. Like you have make a 30. Just pull a random fan. From
Yeah,
the stands.
and Mike
This
Leach.
is one of my favorite. Yeah, Mike Leach saw him. He kicked it, and their kickers were awful. Like they were just dreadful. And he just offered the kid a scholarship, a spot on the team.
Yeah.
right there when we saw him kick.
What's the distance with the game day one? What's the
I think it's
distance?
33.
I think it's 33 a field goal, basically.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, well, shit, you could go to Texas Tech because they had a competition on the halftime at the Tech game with the Oregon, and they had like a 27-yard field goal, and that guy nailed it. She did not get anywhere close. That bitch fluttered, and he nailed it. I was like, damn.
He won the job.
Oh, I'll tell you right now. How do you sign up for those things exactly?
I think you just
kick-
get picked random, right? Or
Yeah, I think it's random.
Well, it got
Another
practice kicking field goals. Make sure you got that wind velocity. Make sure you got those. Make sure you got your legs going.
It's like one of those things you have to keep up with. So immediately when it comes out, you're like one of the first couple hundred entries. Like immediately as soon as it opens up. So you got to pay really close attention. But Travel Fools, another membership was gifted. He's spending his money.
All right, guys, my phone's about to die. So,
any final word then for Notre Dame, Oregon State, Will, from the Sun Bowl?
go Irish. I hope we win and cover. We should win and cover easily. Hopefully we don't blow it.
If you don't win, we will not see you next Saturday.
I can probably be here. I don't think I'll be starting to work yet. So, until the next week.
We'll find out. Will, as always, to our Fighting Irish.
Go Irish.
Thanks, Will.
See you guys.
Sean, you're the only
And
one with a
Coastal-
game coming up this week. Any final thoughts for Ohio State, Mizzou?
I've expressed them in detail here. I like our chances. I like where this team's head is at. I think they take care of business.
I think that's definitely going to be one of the best games. I think Mizzou, people are underrating Mizzou still for some reason.
It's so weird. Like they came into the season without really high expectations, and even when they were winning games early on, they weren't giving you a lot of reason to be optimistic that they really were one of the top 10 teams. But they built. They kept getting better. They kept getting better as the season went along. They just blew the doors off of kind of the middle to bottom part of that league in the second half of the season. Had a really competitive game against Georgia. They're a good football team. They've done enough to prove that they're that they're a threat.
Well, we have a score update, and it's Coastal Carolina 13-0 for now, but it's going into review. We're trying to see if he was inbounds or if the pass was complete.
See if he actually completed the process.
Yeah, I minimized the
It might
screen.
have been rolling around.
Sports Talk with Austin says me and Jackson have Missouri at 3-9. Yeah, unfortunately, I was pretty low on Missouri. I talked him into putting them at such a low record. So
Wait, what was it? What was it? You guys had them?
Austin and I picked Missouri to go 3-9 in the preseason. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, it's just Missouri. They're one of these. There's this program that just like every 4 to 6 years.
I talked Austin into it. That was my fault on that.
Hey, I can't blame you for a reason, because of the fact that I don't think I would have put him at 3-9. I would have put him probably 6-6. But Drinkwitz has kind of been underachieving, and all of a sudden this year he's like his team has come together. Like
they just do that all the time. Like it feels like every 5 years or so, Missouri just puts a team out there that way overachieves, is way better than you expect, and then they just go back to being 5-7.
But I know that I picked Kansas to go 9-3 in the regular season because I assumed they would be really healthy. But the QB situation, they'd be healthier, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. But on the bright side, they did upset Oklahoma, which I will be honest, I picked them to upset Oklahoma in the preseason. I'm not kidding. I have it in my Phil Steele magazine, and I will show the evidence that I picked Kansas to upset Oklahoma.
Thinking of that, after the playoffs, after the championship, we're going to have to do a best games of the season review and pick one of them, because Kansas, Oklahoma was one of those, like, what the hell?
Texas, Alabama.
Washington, Oregon, I think the top game of the year for me.
Oh, for sure. That
the first one, yeah.
Yeah, there were a bunch of good games this year. Really, really good games. And there's
Michigan, Ohio State was a really good one. Ohio State great one.
My most underrated game of 2023 is Missouri, Kansas State.
Oh, yeah. What was that? A 61-yard field goal or something? 59 or 60-yard field goal?
After a delay of game call. It was going to be a 56-yarder, but then it was a delay of game. And Missouri's kicker, I mean, he shanked it. I mean, you'd think it was George Blanda kicking that game winner right there. Like, good grief. I thought I was watching George Blanda and Adam Vinatieri reincarnated on that game-winning field goal.
That was an impressive kick. I watched it. I was like, there's no way. I see why they're going to give him the shot. And he made it. I'm like, holy crap. Like, damn, what a kicker. But, Michigan versus the world, Oregon, Colorado is definitely not one of the games of the year, unless you're just talking about how we wrecked Colorado and broke them, like
Colorado.
Like, yeah,
Colorado
in that sense, yeah.
That was the game of the year.
Oh, man. I have to be honest, Ben. I'm really torn on my number one game because you got
I am too.
two great games from Oregon, Washington, Alabama, Auburn, and then you got Texas, Oklahoma.
And then think about it like this one, the Kansas Oklahoma one too. I kind of forgot about.
Oh my God, that's a great game.
Yeah, I was like I kind of forgot about it until you guys mentioned it. And I was like, oh, that was a good game because I was watching it. I was like,
how about the last edition of the Bedlam? Like, holy cow. That was a tremendous game right there. College Game Day and Big Noon Kickoff massively disrespected that game. I mean, I get Kansas State, Texas was good, but I think I would have put Oklahoma State on Big Noon Kickoff and put Kansas State, Texas at 2:30 on ABC. And I get it. Alabama, LSU is playing that week, but still, though, you can put Bama, LSU on game day any other year. But we're talking about the last edition of the Bedlam. We don't know when the hell that game's going to be played next time. So let's give it some respect. I mean, I don't know why ESPN and Fox, they really dropped the ball on that one.
I'm not going to give them one of my games of the year, actually, because no one will ever pick it. For me, it was one of the games of the year just because it followed what Michigan versus World said a little bit. One of the best ones, and it doesn't match up nowadays in the sense of it, but like even Utah USC this year. Having to take
that
the
was a
final
great
drive for the expiration, field goal kick again to demolish USC for the third time in a row.
Man, that was a fantastic finish by the Utah Utes. I mean, oh my God, that was tremendous by Utah.
I mean, nowadays that doesn't mean a whole lot, but
beans being mean now, so.
Well, Colorado improving 2024.
But what about Utah Baylor? That's one of the most underrated games of the 2023 season right there.
What was that, like 17-14?
No, that was 20-13. The last few plays of the game were what made it right there.
Okay.
I mean,
I couldn't quite remember. I was like, what was it? I know it was really close, low score, no offense for the most part.
yeah.
Oregon,
Alabama,
Colorado,
Texas.
people were saying was good. Well, yeah, for a half.
Nebraska,
What about
Minnesota.
the Colorado Stanford game? Just completely different.
Oh my
You're
God,
ruining my nomination. That was going to be my nomination because no one would think of it. That was going to be my nomination. The 29-point comeback.
Nebraska, Minnesota was a pretty good game. I mean, that's a pretty good game.
That game was terrible. That game was only good because each team was too bad to win the game.
Was that their last game
I
of the year?
Wyoming, Texas Tech. That was a great one. Craig Bowl. Little did we know that we were seeing the last season of Craig Bowl as Wyoming head coach. And he started off nicely. Texas Tech was looking ahead to Oregon that week. But Wyoming at home in Laramie.
Their whole season. He played in Texas Tech's whole season.
That's what I was
Ben, I've got a freaking Christmas list of underrated games of the year for the college football season. I mean, if you ask me to name,
we could have a whole show on that. That's why I was like, because I was thinking that when he said something right here at Texas Tech, I was like a little biased maybe, but because I was also there was the Oregon Texas Tech game, going down 14 points and still coming back to seal it at the end on the road. Not a bad game for to start off week 2, but
I just get so excited thinking about what's on the list. That's a great one.
All right. Well, we have covered a lot here tonight. Gone a lot
Yeah,
longer
we
than
have.
I think we were thinking it was going to be, and we didn't even get into depth of like signing day. But
didn't talk about the playoffs at all.
Playoffs?
That was the purpose. That was the purpose. No, that was the purpose. That was the purpose. You shut your. I will remove every one of you from the stream right now. I can cut all of you off. No, next week is definitely one playoff, and the rest of the New Year's 6 bowls. Next week, Erica should be joining us, as she will be getting into the Discord officially. Erica, when you join, I'll be checking to pay attention. Discord's a little funky to get into, like the permissions for some reason. I'll just send you a direct message if you just join as Erica. I'll make sure to send you the link directly so you can make sure next Saturday night you can come on here and talk Iowa football for the Iowa game, as we have a lot of good games still this week, but next week, especially with the playoff, Fiesta Bowl, Citrus Bowl, and multiple others.
Yeah,
I need to look at the schedule.
Shut up, Bean. He does it to us, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm
we
right.
tell him to do his job.
They know who's in charge around here. Unless Jackson wants to do a promo, then he gets full screened. Also, I need to make a phone call back. Phone call came like an hour ago. It's like, you're still on? I'm like, yes.
All right.
Well, before we go, I'd like to say, if you like exclusive live streams, watch parties, predictions, betting advice, and insider looks in all of college football, go to patreon.com/MarkRogersTV or become a YouTube member of the Voice of College Football, where you can get some of the best insider knowledge in all of college football, and especially as a way to celebrate a holly jolly Christmas.
Thanks,
See,
Troy.
I was on top of that with the banner and everything.
Yeah,
There
you
you go.
did good.
That's what I do. Professionalism. Once again, everyone, go around here, let everyone know where they can find you, and then I'll just let everyone know for next weekend to remind them, as we'll be doing it on Saturday next week. So, Jackson, once more, where everyone can find you, what you got coming up this week. Boo, Spaz, before I kick you out of here.
Well, me, I'm just kind of on winter break, but I'll make some call-ins here and there right here at the Voice College Football, and I'm still doing a little that college basketball show with Will and D. So it's gonna be awesome. You can check me out on youtube.com at JacksonJohnson979. You can check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads, where I give out some of my latest updates of the next episodes of the Jacksonian. And I just kind of run my mouth about college football and NFL. And I especially just sometimes kind of go on an angry tweeting or angry posting session about how we don't need ties in the NFL every now and again. So, Erica asked, do Will and I talk about women's college basketball? No, unfortunately, we haven't really kept up with it as much. Well, I haven't really kept up with it as much. I know about Iowa with Caitlin Clark, and I know about LSU.
Mhm.
But that's about all. I'm kind of a moron about women's college basketball. I am so sorry about that.
Damn it!
But I will. But Erica, I will read a little more about it. I will promise you that. So here we go.
Well, I am Boo, as it says down here. Actually, Spaz, and you can find me on Twitter at Rocky Classic and Facebook and Instagram. Other than that, I'm excited to watch some better games. I hope later this week. There should be some good games on. And happy holidays, everybody.
There you go.
All right. Just everyone have fun, be safe. I know a lot of you will be traveling. Just enjoy the time with the family and get to and from in one piece. And hopefully we'll see you here again next week or whenever. And lots of great games coming up this week. So a really good appetizer for when the real show starts. Like I guess was it 9 days from now, the playoffs?
January 1st. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So
8 days.
8 days. Okay.
Well,
I guess
now.
technically, since we've been on for 2.5 hours. Yep. So not just Merry Christmas, everyone. It's
There we go.
enjoy the time with your family.
Stay safe and stay warm.
Mhm.
And we try not to go too long, but then again, we always spend 15 minutes talking about Syracuse and Dino Babers.
Well, we did spend 15 minutes talking about Northwestern tonight for a good reason, at least.
Yeah,
true.
For a good reason.
Yeah, there was nothing quite that ridiculous.
Score update, everyone. Coastal is 14-0 and on the move again late in the third quarter.
Let's go
Coastal's looking
San
like
Jose
a good
State.
pick. Good pick.
Come on, San Jose State. Come on, make that comeback.
Everyone, yes, please. Just like tonight, next weekend, because next Sunday is New Year's Eve. Most people have some plans. I'll be out. So next Saturday, on the 30th, that is correct, right? Next 30th. Am I getting my days confused? Yes, next Saturday the 30th. 30th. Next Saturday on the 30th, we will be here again for the College Football After Dark show to discuss this week's games as well as preview the rest of the New Year's Six, following bowl games, and the playoff games, and any other signing news or transfer news, as I think that we're going to hear a lot more after Christmas, even in just a couple days during the week. I think we'll hear some more big news for some of the other teams that haven't got a lot of commits yet. But yeah, as to everyone here in the chat, of course, everyone always appreciate it because the chat's what helps the show go, not just me. To all the panelists, of course. Spaz left on his own. I didn't kick him out this time. He actually left on his own for some reason. He does that once in a while. And yeah, I'm just Ben of Exploring with Ben and Sam here on YouTube, Twitter down here, and hopefully I have my gaming PC back this week so I can actually start editing more videos. That'd be nice. And have 2 monitors again. That'd be great. This laptop sucks. But much like everyone said, please, everyone, enjoy your holidays. Be safe. And just live it up a little bit. And we will see you next week for the final edition of the 2023 After Dark show. And once again, as another podcast would say, gentlemen, thank you very much.